here, if we look at example 11, the first thing you want to do is figure out what one cycle is. So I'm going to look at my graph and I say, okay, I see that it's starting here at 0, 0. And my graph is going to go up, come down, and then go up again to 0. And this is one period of my sine function. I see that it goes from 0 to 360. So that's going to tell me a little bit about my period. So this distance here is one wavelength or one cycle, so that's our period. And we know that it is equal to 360 degrees. Since it starts at 0, 0, this is a sine function. So we are dealing with y is equal to a times the sine of bx. Remember, b tells you how many complete cycles you have between 0 and 360. So in this case, our b is 1. And I'll also show you another way to kind of look at it in case you forget that. So also we need to know our amplitude. So this distance from the top here to the midline, that's our amplitude. And it looks like in this case it is 5. Another way to figure out your amplitude would be the top is at positive 5, the bottom is at negative 5, which is a total distance of 10. Half of that would be 5. And then, so we can fill in our different things. So we know our amplitude is 5. We know our orientation is positive. And our period, in this case, is going to be 1, but if we didn't really remember that, here we know t is equal to 360 degrees. We also know that t is equal to 360 divided by b. So we could say, replace this t with 360 and solve for b. We see that b is equal to 1. So we can put all of that into our different pieces of our function here. So our equation is y is equal to 5 sine of x. You can put the 1, but you don't need to. If we look at b, we want one wavelength. So starting on the y-axis, it goes up, reaches a maximum, comes back down, and goes back to that same place, one full wavelength, from 0 to, in this case, 2 pi. So our period again is going to be 2 pi or 360 degrees. So this distance here is the period. And our amplitude is this distance here. It goes up to 2. Or it's a distance of 2 from the top to the middle. And then our orientation this time, it starts down at the bottom of a wave. This is a reflected cosine. Usually cosine starts at the top and goes down and then up. So our orientation here is negative. So our amplitude is going to be 2. Our orientation is negative. And our period, again for this one, happens to be our B is 1 because our T is 360 degrees. So therefore, B is 1, since 360 equals 360 over B. So our parent function here is y is equal to a times the cosine of bx. And here our a is -2. And our b is 1, so we have y is equal to -2 times the cosine of x. We'll do one more here together. So if we look at this one cycle starts down here. We want to highlight or just isolate one full cycle. So this one, this is one cycle. This is a cosine function and it goes to 120 degrees. So our period here is 120 degrees. Our amplitude goes up to 4. And our orientation is going to be negative. So amplitude is 4. Orientation is negative. Our period is 120 degrees. So T is equal to 120. We know T is equal to 360 divided by B. So we need to know 360 divided by how much gives us 120. So that ends up being 3. So B is 3. And we're using y is equal to a cosine of bx. So if we substitute our different pieces in, we have y is equal to -4 cosine of 3x. For D, one cycle, one cycle it looks like is 45 degrees. That's one cycle. Let's see what goes, we don't even go to 360. We only go out here to 180. So that's 1, this would be 2 in 90. 3. So this is one cycle. This is 2. This one is 3. This is 4. So 4 cycles in 180 degrees. So that means 4 cycles in 180 degrees means 8 cycles in 360 degrees. Which would mean that our B is going to be 8. which makes sense. Okay, so amplitude. Our amplitude from the midline to the top is a distance of 3. So we have an amplitude of 3. Our orientation is positive. It goes up first, then down. And it's a sine function, so we have positive. And our period is going to be, it's 45 degrees. So if we wanted to do it mathematically, we could say that 45 is equal to 360 over b. So in other words, b is equal to 360 divided by 45. And 360 divided by 45 gives us, I believe, 8. Let's see. Yes, it is 8. So b is 8. So we have an equation y is equal to 3 sine of 8x. And it's positive orientation. Yes.